Hello, welcome to the Gardener's World Roadshow, and this year we're in Sheffield. This year we're visiting Sheffield, and over the next hour we shall be exploring as many aspects of its gardens and horticulture as we possibly can. We've come to the Botanical Gardens in the heart of the city, which has these newly restored glass pavilions, which are some of the oldest in the country. We'll be finding out more about the gardens later in the programme. We've brought lots of plants with us from berry fields for a plant swap. Gardener's World production team are already busy preparing, whilst the garden lovers of Sheffield eagerly await the start of the event. Sheffield is built on 7 hills and 5 river valleys. It has no less than 175 woodlands and 80 public parks. It's full of great gardens, both public and private, and we'll be visiting some of them. Julie and David Bear Park have created this wonderful garden in the suburbs of Sheffield, but there are signs of unwelcome visitors on their wedding cake tree. So it doesn't look to me as though this garden has got any problems at all. It looks one of the healthiest gardens I've ever seen in my life.
Well, that's very nice of you to say.
So what is the trouble?
The trouble is a growth on the bottom part of that trunk, and it's started there and has now gone higher up the trunk, and we'd like your opinion on it, please.
OK. Now, if we have a look, and we can see we can do a scrape there. There is a scale insect, and what they do is they sit on their eggs, like a chicken. The white stuff is all goo. And what they do is they hatch their eggs, and the young scamper up the tree. And like all scale insects, they will feed off the sap. They will excrete a goo, which then will attract mould and what have you. If they're unsightly, if I just get a knife and gently scrape them all off, they come off very easily. You can see from that.
And what do you do with them then?
Well, you dispose of them. But they are not going to remotely stop your enjoyment of that tree or that tree's enjoyment of life.
Good.
So that's
Thank you very much.
Plantswoman DC Needham has been gardening for over 20 years, but even the most experienced gardeners can have problems. She's really worried about what's happening to one of her favourite perennials. It's such a lovely garden.
Oh, thank you very much.
Absolutely packed. You couldn't get another thing in here.
You can always get another plant in, Carol. Well, this is the plant.
Yeah, it's Veronicastrum virginicum, isn't it?
It is,
One
yes.
called fasciation.
That's right. And it's developed this peculiar habit of flattened stems, and I'm a little worried in case it spreads to anything else.
Right. Well, it's called fasciation, this, isn't it? And it happens regularly to herbaceous plants.
I didn't know that.
But every time I've seen this particular cultivar, it's always done this. And I don't think it's anything to worry about, really. I mean, nobody knows why it's caused. Right. There are theories that it's some sort of damage to the growing shoots, and some people think it's related to virus. But, I mean, if it was damage, it wouldn't happen every year, would it?
You wouldn't think so, would you?
So I really think it must be something genetic, something within the plant.
Oh, really?
And I don't think anything else would catch it.
It just looks like a triffid, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
I can enjoy it for what it is then.
Yeah, exactly.
My own triffid.
Make the most of it, your very own triffid.
Now, as you can see, the plant swap is still going strong here at the Botanical Gardens. And if you come here, there are wonderful things to see. And some of the upkeep is down to the friends of the Botanical Garden, the FOBs, as they're known. And earlier in the day, I met one of them, Kay Keaton, to discover the sort of work they do. Around 30 volunteers work all over the gardens, but these impressive borders were planted 4 years ago by Kay and just 3 other friends as part of a £6.5 million restoration of the garden. The borders are an impressive array of shrubs, grasses and perennials. I love the way the acanthus is going. That's looking fantastic.
That's really good. Yeah. It can be invasive, and it's gone over to the other side of the Rosa glauca.
Yeah, I like that.
But I actually like that.
Yeah,
yes.
no.
That is beautiful, and we'll keep that.
Right, so
yes.
you'll let these accidents happen.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Quite subtle, isn't it? But that's what you're trying to do with the colours. You've got the hot end, that end.
Yes. Yes.
And then just
we're going down into the pinks and yellows, going down into the whites. I mean, Sue Kohler and Errol Winning, who designed this garden, put a great deal of thought into it, and they used Christopher Lloyd's principles, basically, of the mixed border, using shrubs and perennials, annuals and grasses, of course.
You particularly like grasses,
yes,
don't you?
I do. I love the very big miscanthus and these wonderful Dischampsias and the conifloras.
Now you're clutching in your hand a plan, aren't you?
Yes, this is the plan of the borders, both the main east and the west side.
So every time you come here, you have this, do
Well,
you?
because I can never remember all the names of the plants.
It's a great idea. Is the soil the same right the way down?
It's quite dry up here, but down on the bottom west side, it's very wet.
Is the soil on this side of the border much the same? And I say on this side, it's actually as far away as most gardens, aren't it?
Yes, it is a long way because of the original design.
Yeah.
But no, this area is really quite good soil. It's been well tended and cultivated over the years that this border has been, so we do get a lot of lush growth.
I mean, looking up here, it looks really well balanced. It's got lovely colour, and it seems to me that things are thriving.
Yes, I think they are.
They like their home.
Yes, they do, yes.
So what about the future? What's the plan?
I think next year I'd like to try more bulbs, particularly tulips, some hot red ones up there, white ones at the bottom, and maybe a few more alliums in with the mauves.
And how many of you concentrate on this border?
Probably only about 2 to 4.
Right. So it's pretty personal.
It is, but I can think big. When you've got a little garden at home, you see, you can just say, oh, well, one plant there, one plant there. But here you have to think, when you're planting, 7 or more.
And you obviously love that.
Yes, oh yes, it's a real privilege to look at this and think, oh, I had something to do with that.
I'm visiting Crosby Stevens's garden, which is unusual as a front garden because it's full of herbs and veg. Hello, Crosby.
Oh, hello.
It's so lovely to see a vegetable garden in the front.
Oh, thank you.
They look really ornamental, and then you've got something to eat.
That's right, we can just come out and take some.
But I hear you've got a problem.
We have. It's actually this bay tree. I don't know if you can see, we've got a problem with the leaves. They're sort of curling up. I don't know.
Oh, yes. Well, that is what's called bay sucker. And if you uncurl the leaf, what you'll see is sort of stuff that looks almost like cotton wool.
Oh, yes, yeah.
And it covers itself in that, and it curls the leaf round to protect itself with a nymph inside. Now, what then often happens is that you actually get secretions, and that then gets sooty mould. So, in fact, it can get really unsightly because the tree turns almost black. But actually, you haven't got it too badly. So, have you got any secateurs?
Yeah.
You just want to snip off the badly affected bits just to try and restrict the infestation.
Oh, right.
And then hopefully you'll be free of it.
Right.
Across the city, there's vegetable growing on a completely different scale. Healey City Farm is a 4.5-acre community garden and farm which is celebrating its 25th anniversary this year. Healey City Farm was the brainchild of local community activists who successfully prevented a road bypass tearing through the heart of their neighbourhood. the farm aims to teach people about the environment and sustainable development. So David, what underlines the ethos of this place in particular?
Well, it started with local people and it's still very much part of the community. What we try and do is just show people and give people an opportunity to get involved in things that connect with sustainable development, if you like. Opportunities to garden, to find out about renewable energy and energy efficiency, but in a context where they're comfortable. And it's free and it's open every day of the year. And I think that means that people are coming here who wouldn't perhaps otherwise pay to go into an environmental visitor attraction or something of that nature.
As well as the cafe and educational facilities, there's also a very productive kitchen garden. And the head gardener, Darryl Marion, has worked here for the last 7 years. What's the soil like here?
The soil is not the original soil that you would get in Sheffield in this sort of area, based on the fact that it was all houses here.
Yeah.
And then there was proposed to build a road. That didn't go ahead. But the houses were basically demolished and the rubble was buried in the cellars, which are below us here. So it was brick rubble, and then a very thin layer of soil was imported, probably from the east of Sheffield, where it's a much drier, sandier soil. That's been put on top, and then for the last 20 years or more, lots and lots of manure, compost, anything else we could get hold of, to try and make it a deeper soil, richer soil, and crucially more moisture retentive.
I was going to say, if you've got sort of light soil over rubble, presumably it just drains like a sieve.
You used to watch the water, you just water, you just go
really
fast.
Yeah.
You never get a puddle, ever, basically.
Gardening organically and recycling are integral to how the farm works. This is some compost setup. I mean, it's a pretty established thing. Let's just see what you like in here. Well, it looks beautiful.
You're looking at the material that's gone through the full maturing process.
Just a sort of gentle woodlandy smell.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Lovely. It's beautiful stuff, and I like the idea that if you want to get at it, you've got to turn it. There is no cheating possible.
Yeah. I'm not sure if that's not an accidental result of the design, but it does help make sure that everything is properly turned and matured before we get to take it away. Okay, and we're here, we've got some crops we've just been harvesting for the cafe at the farm here, and also for a local restaurant.
And these potatoes look interesting.
This is the salad blue potato, with purple on the outside, but if you cut it open, it's actually got a rather pleasant pattern inside, like that.
Yeah, lovely.
And so when you cook that, that just turns to perfect blue. Produce does disappear at times, but if that's apples when they're ripe, people coming along scrumping the odd bit, that's fine, really, you know, because that's what you're looking for, is people to actually interact with the living plants and see through the seasons what's available, and get a chance to pick that food, eat it. Get a lot of school groups coming here as well. It's great fun letting them loose to pick peas or lift potatoes. You get kids with, a grubby potato saying, "Can I take this home to my mum and dad?" to show them,
This kid
not in a
still
plastic
gets a
bag.
joy. What I like about Healey City Farm is that it's a focal point for the community, and local adults and children can feel really connected to the experience of farm life. But this city has lots of gardeners that grow their own vegetables, people like Lorraine Davis, who spent the last 27 years developing the garden of her Victorian terrace. Now, her crops are fine, but recently a variegated euonymus has started to get out of hand.
Now, Lorraine, you've got this euonymus, so you want it pruned. It's not the ideal time of year to do it. It really should be done in spring, but they're tough, and I reckon it's going to be able to cope with whatever we can throw at it.
Right.
But there's three options. We can lift it up and turn it into like a lollipop tree shape.
Yes.
We can take some height off it, or we can turn it into like a clipped shape. Which would you like?
I don't want the lollipop effect. I'd like the height removed and it to be sort of bushy.
OK, fine. So the first thing I'm going to do is take some height off it.
Right.
OK. Cut it to a height, you know, that you're going to be able to maintain it in the future as well. So I'm to try and leave a sort of natural shape.
Yeah.
You've got to take the odd sort of large branch out, really, and take it back quite hard, and then make sure it's got enough coverage so you don't end up with massive holes in it. There you go. I mean, it looks a bit drastic, but it'll grow back pretty quickly.
Yeah, it looks fantastic.
Beryl Scholey's weeping cherry flowered as normal over the winter, but since then has lost a lot of leaves.
Right.
So this is a lovely garden you've got here.
Thank you.
So what's your problem?
This tree is a bit sad at the moment. It's got holy leaves.
Yes. These leaves with the holes in, or shot holes, are where dead tissue is dropping out.
Oh, it does, yeah.
And it's an infection. Looking at that goo makes me think that it's a sort of bacterial canker. The whole point about the canker is once it's got it and once they start to go, it will not recover.
Right.
And all you can do is contain its spread.
OK.
Now, I have got some secateurs. Are you happy to do your own cutting?
No, you can do that.
You sure?
I am, but these, I don't think I could cut these thick ones. You know, you do it.
Now, you must cut back to good wood.
Right.
OK?
Yeah.
So take that off.
Like jewels, yeah.
But it's, you see?
Oh, yeah, that's really bare.
Yeah. Right, well, I could tinker away at this, but actually you could do that just as well as me.
OK.
Just look for any obvious lesions and cut back into good wood. And if it's really coming back very sadly and the canker's getting worse, I think it may have to go next summer.
OK.
Wouldn't surprise me.
OK.
I certainly wouldn't give it odds better than 50-50.
OK.
You can see we're still really busy here at the plant swap, but there's still lots to see in Sheffield. Joe will be off to meet Nigel Dunnett, who's the man who inspired him to make his green roof in his garden at Berryfields. I'm meeting the gardeners of the future at Broomhill School. We're going to see the grand gardens at Renishaw Hall, and of course we will be solving more problems in the gardens of Sheffield. Now, Carol's done a lot of work in our Alpine garden back at Berryfields, so she was very keen to meet Steve Furness. And he's a man who has been mad about alpines ever since he was a small boy.
Just 10 miles outside Sheffield's industrial heart lies the Peak District National Park. Steve Furness moved out here 25 years ago after studying botany at the city's university. Since then, he's accumulated a collection of over 3,000 alpines and still counting. I suppose it's springtime you really associate with alpines, isn't it?
Yes, of course, the majority of things flower in spring. I mean, in spring this is wall-to-wall colour.
Yeah, it's pretty good now, but look at this. This is phenomenal. Are these seed heads?
Yes, it's a fabulous little plant. It's Aliceoides utriculata.
So, can we collect a bit of seed from this? Could
Yes,
you
by all
actually
means.
grow it from seed?
Yes, it's very easy. In fact, that's the only way we grow this one.
And it's got these lovely big fat round seed pods and gorgeous flat seed inside. It's a real feature on this corner. Do you grow any native plants?
Yes, there's this one here, this lovely Dryas octopetala, Mountain Avens.
I absolutely love this. And this is one of the most widely spread alpines there is, isn't it?
Yes.
There's a huge distribution.
Yes, it's not terribly common in Derbyshire, but
No.
it does occur here.
And it is fantastic making this great big mat. So could we propagate this from seed then?
Yes, no problem whatsoever. In fact, this is an excellent one to do from seed. Basically, just pick it off like that.
Yeah.
I'd take some of the fluff off it, because normally you wouldn't sow that, but if you sow things outside, it doesn't really matter. You can just stuff it in the soil like that, and then put a thin layer of gravel on top.
Right.
The amount of gravel you use depends really on the size of the seed. With large seeds, I put quite a lot of gravel on. If it was a very fine seed, I'd put the gravel in first, and then sow very thinly on top of the gravel.
Right, otherwise you might prevent germination.
That's right. Large seeds tend to prefer germinating in the dark. Small seeds
need light.
Need light. So where would you put that? I mean, a lot of people would dash inside with it and shove it in the greenhouse.
Certainly not, that's not the way I do it. All these go outside in a shaded position and spray them overhead regularly. And just let nature take its course.
This gravel seems fairly thick.
Oh yes, it's at least 3 inches thick, and of course that suppresses all the weeds, and that's the secret of a rock garden.
Right.
Virtually no maintenance, virtually no weeds can get through this depth of coarse gravel.
But surely the plants can't root right through that.
Well, what you do is you scrape right the way through to the soil at the bottom, and then just take the plant out of the pot, and then just make sure that the bottom of the roots touch the soil at the base.
Is that all it has to do?
Yes, that's all it has to do. And then you just fill in with gravel.
But it must be in close and intimate contact with the soil,
Oh yes,
isn't it?
and you must water well in spring or summer.
Right.
In autumn, there's no problem because the natural moisture will come up from the base.
Yeah. But if you're putting something in this kind of scorching weather, then one good watering just to encourage those roots down there. So you don't even need a screen or a big rock garden. You don't need a garden at all to grow these, do you?
You can grow them on a patio with virtually no soil. I've got some that have been grown on bare rock for 20 years without ever watering them.
Wonderful.
Amazing.
We've seen lots of exciting things here in Sheffield, including plenty of private gardens, and the team are still busy answering questions. But Joe is about to help out with a problem that is occurring all over the world.
Val Miles has got a problem with her bamboo and it doesn't sound good. So I brought this one just in case.
So this is the bamboo which has flowered twice now.
Yeah. So when did it start flowering?
Last year it flowered and then made a lot of leaves, and then this spring it's flowered again.
Yeah.
And it's making far fewer leaves.
Would you want the bad news or the bad news?
Well, I was rather hoping it might be possible to do something about it.
Well, this Fargesia, as Fargesias all across the world, are flowering. We had the problem at Berryfields, we highlighted it earlier in the year. We had one and it's flowered as well.
Yes.
There's a sort of chain reaction sets them all off, and then they're all dying. It could take 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. So it's just going to get weaker and weaker because it hasn't got any foliage to get any energy back in to the plant. So it is the end of this plant.
So it is a terminal Fargesia.
It is a terminal Fargesia. Now, there's two ways of dealing with it. I mean, there is actually seed that's produced here.
Yes.
Through after flowering. So in here somewhere there will be a nice hard seed. Okay. Now you could sow that, onto a seed tray.
Oh yes,
yeah,
it is.
and put it into the greenhouse.
Yeah.
Yeah. That could take quite a while to germinate, 2 or 3 months. Or you could replant. Okay, replant a lovely new Fargesia like that.
That's beautiful.
Yes, and you know that will bulk up pretty quickly. Now this is from a different stock. It's from newer stock, so you know
it's not going to flower next year.
It's not. No, it'll flower in maybe 100 years' time or something.
Okay.
You know, it'll outlive both of us. But with this one, I'm afraid you're just going to have to chop it down to the ground and dig the roots out. It's quite a job, really.
It's actually quite contained.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you'll be able to do that.
I think so.
And do you think you'll go for the seed option or replanting?
Well, I'd love to try and grow the seeds because I like growing things from seed. So yeah.
So you're going to go for the patient option?
Well, I'd like to go for this one as well.
Oh, go on, you can have that one as well, since I brought it all this way. It's a nice plant.
Thank you very much. It's lovely.
Sue and Roger Thompson have a large garden on the outskirts of Sheffield. But after many years, parts of the garden are getting difficult to manage.
So, 20-year-old beech hedge, which is growing vigorously enough and doing its job. What's the problem?
Well, basically, that despite the fact that we've cut it every year, it's just got that bit taller each year, really, and it's taller than we wanted.
When do you normally cut the hedge?
About the beginning of September.
Yeah,
I think it was about the end of September last year.
I would not cut it in September, miss that this year, and wait till winter, when it is truly dormant, and cut it as hard as you like. I mean, you could cut that down to a stub. You could coppice it, and it would grow back. You would only do that in winter.
You wouldn't dramatically cut it back in the growing season. But I would mulch it thickly after you've cut it to give it just that little boost, then go back to your normal cutting regime at the beginning of September. We've visited gardeners who've spent years developing their craft and passion for gardening. But earlier in the week, I went to see the next generation of Sheffield's gardeners at Broomhill School. Broomhill Infant School is right in the heart of the city, next to the hospital and the university. And as well as the normal educational facilities for 4 to 7-year-olds, it is exceptional in that it has a large garden that plays a really important role in their education. The garden has been part of Broomhill for 25 years, and other schools come here too, to use the space and to get inspiration.
I've learned about ladybird larvae and what they look like, and that if they're close up, they do look quite scary. Well, we learn about the pond, and we learn about birds. Yeah. What I enjoy doing most is probably picking. I like coming into the garden because it's nature and you get to plant seeds and clean out the pond. My most favourite thing that I like doing is picking seeds in the garden.
Little seeds
those
there.
sticky. I think I know what you...
Are you allowed? I feel very good. Have you been told to get any seeds you can, or any particular seeds?
Any seeds we can.
All right, let's go and find some seeds.
They're just over here, these ones.
Hey.
These seeds.
There you are, they're seeds. Yep, you can take those. Look how lovely that is.
It looks like a lantern or something.
It does look like a lantern. Doesn't that look fantastic? And we can find another one.
From the geranium?
Yes.
Here.
There you are. There's one. Well done.
Oh.
Can you see the seeds there?
And we're going to be collecting any petals or any...
Marion Shepherd has been teaching here for the last 18 years and has been instrumental in the garden's development.
I've allowed the garden to become more mature and overgrown because I want it to be a shady place, a retreat for the children. And I tried to include a lot more of the native flora so that the children would encounter a little miniature version of the beautiful woodlands we have in Sheffield, and also to have something of interest throughout the year, so that there's always something to delight their senses.
What is it then? Wild strawberry.
I've already bited it.
Can you count how many toes it's got?
One. It's got 4 toes on the front and 5 toes on the back. Well, I like looking at tadpoles and newts and frogs and stuff like that. In the garden, I probably enjoy skimming the pond. It's a nice, quiet place, and the garden's very special to all of blueberries.
Yeah, you see, there's the seeds. Do you see? They're long and they're in there. That's a seed head. And do you know what the plant is called?
No.
It's just like the word seed. It's called a sedum. A sedum.
We actually have a seed in our class.
Do you?
Yeah.
Now, if we go like this, look at all those seeds. Whoa. Okay, off we go. Look at that. Oh, a lovely little ladybird.
That is beautiful.
Isn't it beautiful? What do you think the lasting effects of the garden will have on the pupils?
Well, I'm hoping that when they're older and they are citizens who are helping us to care for the environment, that they will want to do that, that it will be natural to them to consider the needs of wildlife and plants. I'm also hoping that some of them will be more proactive and that I will get some rainbow warriors in the future who will help us to sort out the mess the planet will be in.
Back at the plant swap, the gardeners of today are still keeping us busy.
Very easy to dig up.
Good.
brought an aeonium.
You certainly have.
Yes.
How did you propagate this
I
then?
grew them from cuttings. I grew absolutely loads.
Loads and loads.
Yes. And that will hopefully self-sow a bit too, so you'll get more.
How are you going to grow it? You're going to grow it outside, inside, outside?
This is a Fat's Header Elysii.
All right.
Okay, it's a cross between an ivy and a fatsia, which is like the false castor oil plant.
Right.
We've got lovely glossy leaves, but it'll cling to a wall.
Right.
It's quite unusual.
Does it need a lot of sunlight?
No, shade.
Shade? Oh, that's
Shade.
great. I've got just a space for it. I've got this fantastic stone wall.
Yeah.
Built in natural stone around this area.
Will be perfect, and it won't take over the world. Yeah. And it's got a really fantastic foliage, and because it's glossy, it'll bounce light around in a shady spot.
Right.
Plant.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's a very first one, thank you. Okay. I like tropical plants, like a ginger maybe.
Look, at my feet, at my feet! It should do really well. How's that then? Yeah?
Brilliant.
The very first ginger.
Sheffield obviously has a great many keen gardeners, but they don't all do their gardening at home. The city has over 3,000 allotment plots. And I've come here to the Marsh Lane allotments to have a look and also solve some problems. Val Cotter and Stella Meckanen have shared an allotment together for a year. But recently their cabbage crop developed yellow blotches, and they want to know the reason why. It's instantly apparent to me. Have you not noticed something about them other than the yellow blotches?
There's a sort of grey powder on
Here
them.
we go, that's the clue. That's the clue.
Yeah, yeah.
What you've got, I mean, can I take this leaf off? Because it is such a fabulous thing. Do you see? What seems to be mites of dust flying up, but in fact, this is the mealy aphid, and it does afflict brassicas. They stay on the parent plants, and so they lay their eggs, they overwinter, and then they hatch out. But what I would do at this stage is go over the whole of your brassicas and physically remove them. Either remove the whole leaf with them on, or just rub them out with your finger. And once you've finished with the cabbage, and you may be forced to finish with it earlier than you want, remove it.
Right.
Because it's the eggs you want to worry about. Bernell Clark wants some advice on how to grow native vegetables from Jamaica in this country. So you've got a lot of stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Broad beans, potato.
Right. This is callaloo?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And then leaf beet beyond that.
Yeah.
I mean, like that raspberries, that set itself there.
Yeah.
Wherever they set themselves, I just leave them, let them grow. That's fine.
And is there anything that you're not managing to grow?
Well, it's like I said, the sweet potato is one of the things that I've tried, and I've got a little bit of success.
You can buy sweet potato seed. Recently, they've been introduced. But I really don't think there's much mileage in growing them outside, particularly here in Sheffield. They just need more heat, than normal potatoes. You've got greenhouses. If you get a nice big container, put some good rich compost and manure in, sort of in spring, you may well get a decent harvest out of that. I think the main problem is lack of warmth.
Yeah, that's right.
That is the problem, and there's nothing you can do about that.
No.
John Harrop normally gets a big harvest from his allotment, but this year, some of his fruit crop seems to have failed. OK, John, show me your problem.
This tieberry, it's dying on me.
It's not looking happy, is it?
Not very happy at all.
And how's it been in the last few years?
Perfect.
All right.
Rampant with fruit.
You see these blodges on it? There, these brown blodges with a sort of grey centre to them. That is cane spot. And that is a fungal problem. OK? What you need to do is to cut it down to the ground and burn these. OK? And the good news is it's not systemic. It's not in the plant. It's airborne.
Oh.
So it is every chance that the new growth next year will be healthy. But, of course, you won't get any berries.
No, not next year.
Not next year. So you've got to sacrifice the berries you've got now, and I would mulch it. It doesn't look like you've mulched it this year.
No.
I would say cattle or horse manure. Failing that, good garden compost, but don't use mushroom compost because that's too alkaline. With any luck, it'll grow back perfectly healthy.
Good, I'll try that then. We're not short of horse manure. We're about 5 tonne out there.
Good. Well, that's your answer. Parts of Sheffield lie in the majestic countryside of the Peak District. And just outside the city are the gardens of Renishaw Hall, where the beautiful landscape is key to the grand design.
Well, Renishaw Hall is a stately home just outside Sheffield. The gardens here are interesting because they were laid out by Sir George Sitwell, who was the owner but also a garden designer. He laid out the garden as a succession of rooms to be discovered in order as you walk around the garden. But Sir George did this garden design in 1886, which is before the more famous traditional gardens of Hidcote and Sissinghurst. So this area of the garden we know as Second Candle, named after the candlestick-shaped fountains. But it's the White Garden, and we're surrounded by white roses, white cloud. But the treat here isn't white at all. It's the Tropiolum speciosum growing through the hedges, Scottish flame flower. It's the colour of buried holly, but in the middle of summer. I love this area of the garden, Stone Tank Garden, where we do the drama without any flowers or colour like that, but it's all in the leaf texture and shape. A lot of foliage plants, bamboos, gunnera, bananas, more bamboos, the black bamboo, and they all combine together without flowers for dramatic effect. The swimming pool garden's a collection of over 400 roses. And a lot of those are old-fashioned roses, flowering only once. So we've got clematis running through the roses to extend the season of the roses. Also, other shrubs are in there. We've got 2 magnificent Buddleia alternifolias, which, unlike your normal Buddleia, your Buddleia davidii, the butterfly bush, it doesn't get pruned hard because it flowers on old wood. And you can see all the elements of Italianate garden design from Middle Lawn. It was meant to be viewed from the south front, the south terrace there. You've got the central axis running straight through the gardens with the statues looking out and then drawing your eye straight through the middle and onto nature. That's the key thing. But also, Sir George went to his classical ideals, which says that the garden is a foreground for the house. It's a foreground for nature. It's the dividing line between the man-made house and the untouched nature. I mean, my favourite part of gardening as a whole is the borders, is mixed herbaceous borders. And so in the middle of summer, maybe I love that most. I'm a very, very lucky person because I work in a wonderful place and I have great influence upon it. So not only am I working in paradise, but I can also tweak the paradise.
Well, this garden in the Fulwood area of the city isn't on quite the same scale as Renishaw. I'm here because they've got a really tricky problem with dry shade under a yew tree, but I think I've got the solution in my arms. Brian Wilkinson has transformed his garden since he moved here in 1969. And I want to show him that with the right planting, gardening in the gloom isn't a problem at all. I think ferns are going to be ideal because they naturally occur underneath trees. And because they have this, you know, really fine, fibrous root system, I think it'll do really well. But I think what you should do before you actually put it in is a bit of this.
Ah, scratch it.
Because that allows them to get into the soil.
Yeah.
And in a dry place like this, it's particularly important that the plant establishes. So just lower it into that hole. And not only will this look beautiful, it's quite architectural, isn't it?
It is. It's a lovely shape and also delicate foliage as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's going to need a thorough soaking.
Yeah.
When you're putting new plants in at this time of year, it's absolutely imperative. As an absolute contrast, this is Tellimer. It's a North American plant. I think those two look really lovely together. You'll find it'll self-seed right the way through here.
Yeah, good.
And they're scented too. Look at that.
Yeah. Well, if it self-seeds, I can pop them up and sell them.
Yeah, either that or you can bring them to the plant swap next time you come.
Right, yes.
I'm visiting John Potter's lovely garden where he's got a bit of a problem with his espalier pear.
We've got a problem this year that we haven't had before.
Mm-hmm.
You can see that some of the pears are very misshapen.
Yeah.
And we've got a sort of like a crazed appearance on the surface of the pears.
Yeah, that is absolutely characteristic of pear scab, which is a fungal disease which can affect pears and apples. And it's too late to do anything about it this year, but it's not a really bad case. So all I would suggest that you do is collect up all the leaves in the autumn and either bin them or burn them. And that general hygiene should get on top of it, so you'll have another pristine crop next year.
Right, I shall do that. Thank you.
Remember earlier in the year I built a green roof on my shed back at Berryfields, and it was inspired by Dr. Nigel Dunnett, who's a senior lecturer at the university here. Now he's on a mission to make Sheffield the green roof capital of the UK. I like the way you look down on it. You know, you're quite high up on this level. So why green roofs? Why have you got into green roofs in the first place?
Well, I must say, I think the main thing is being faced with a building like this. We all look out, I think, onto boring or ugly buildings, and I thought, well, you know, how could we give it a horticultural facelift? By putting plants on top of it like this, you transform it into the whole focal point of your garden. This is a normal, typical shed you might get hold of. That's the original roof level. Put a pond liner on top, that gives you extra waterproofing and also protects the roof from the plant roots. This is a timber framework which is supported on these posts which are sunk into concrete, and they take some of the weight off the roof. It doesn't need any more support than you've got normally in the shed. And then I've used this very lightweight material for the compost. This is expanded clay granules, which actually weigh nothing, mixed with John Innes compost and a bit of crushed up concrete breeze block.
It's great on a domestic level, but could it work anywhere else?
Well, it's great here. I mean, it looks good. It's good for wildlife. There's bees flying all over it. But if you do it on a large scale, it's got many other benefits as well.
Well, Nigel, we're in Rotherham, just outside Sheffield, and this is roof gardening on a much larger scale. Is this a green roof or is this a roof garden?
No, it's most definitely a green roof. Roof garden really is all about trying to recreate what you find on the ground with lawns and trees and clipped shrubs. This is completely the opposite. It needs no looking after. It's gone the whole year without watering, no feeding. So it's the opposite of a roof garden, it's a green roof.
And what sort of depth of soil do you need to create something like this?
Well, the front is about 10 centimetres deep. At the back, it's about 20 centimetres deep.
OK.
It's actually not soil. If you put garden soil up here, it'd be far too heavy. So it's actually a recycled, crushed brick. It's very lightweight, and it's mixed with compost. So it's a recycled growing medium.
It's fantastic, and the plants seem to absolutely love it, growing in a bit of brick and compost.
Well, it keeps them really tight rather than blousy and overgrown, so they might blow over in these conditions. So these things here will put up with virtually no water year round.
You've got perennials and grasses all mixed together.
Yeah, the meadow-like planting here, and the grasses really do make the planting, I think, here. The Stipa tenuissima, for example, is fantastic right the way through spring through till winter, particularly when the sun is coming in low. It lights up, it shines, and it moves in the wind. And mixed with perennials like lamb's ears here, or the white oxeye daisy, it really is a vibrant, fantastic planting which looks good whenever you come.
But the planting is still experimental. You're constantly researching, you know, which plants do the best and bring the biodiversity in.
Exactly. This is still a huge demonstration site, and it's a research site, so we're measuring what lives, what dies, how fast they grow when it flowers, so that we can say to people, if you want to do this sort of thing, this is exactly how you might do it on a different building.
So what's your vision for Sheffield?
Well, you have a look over here, there's just roofs and tarmac and hard surfaces, bleakness everywhere you look. The vision we have really is to transform the rooftops of this city into a living resource. And that will partly be through demonstration projects like this, but also by encouraging developers to put green roofs on buildings.
Well, I think green roofs are brilliant, but this bus doesn't have a roof of any kind at all, but it does have the others, and I think they're having a glass of wine. Yeah, I thought as much.
We've saved you one.
Thanks very much indeed. Well, I have been to Sheffield before, but very fleetingly, and it's nice to spend a few days here and see what it's really like.
It's a wonderfully green place, isn't it?
I had a great time in wonderful gardens and seeing some really incredible fruit trees, huge trees in big gardens.
They grow them big in Yorkshire.
Yeah, they certainly do. And also, I just think very knowledgeable plantsmen, you know, good gardeners, know what they're doing, know their stuff.
The city centre is absolutely fabulous. It's an amazing example of public landscaping. It's great.
I saw lots of things I really liked, but I think the best thing was the school, Broomhill School, and the children. The children were so enthusiastic.
And Gardener's World goes native, focusing on Britain's wild flowers. That's tomorrow night at 10, while Neil Oliver's got his sights firmly focused on the Outer Hebrides next here in Coast.